They say that in St. Augustine, the past doesn't stay buried. It can't. The ground here is too porous, a soft, weeping mixture of crushed shells and ancient seawater known as coquina. This city is the oldest continuously inhabited European settlement in the United States, and 4.5 centuries of secrets have a way of soaking into the very foundation of the streets. But the true darkness of St. Augustine doesn't lie in its narrow alleys or its sun-bleached plazas. It lies just past the breakers, where the Matanzas River bleeds into the Atlantic. Mapmakers will tell you that the Bermuda Triangle begins hundreds of miles to the south, between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. But the locals, those who have spent their lives watching the horizon turn a bruised purple at dusk, know better. They know the triangle isn't a fixed point on a map. It is a hunger. It is a tide. And sometimes, that tide reaches all the way up the Florida coast to pull at the iron-wrought gates of our oldest city. Think of the Castillo de San Marcos. Its walls are made of that same coquina stone, a material that famously absorbed the cannonballs of invaders rather than shattering. It didn't just stop the metal, it swallowed it. The old legends say the fort does the same with souls. For centuries, ships have departed from the shadow of that fort, heading east into the shifting currents of the Gulf Stream, only to vanish into a sea as calm as glass. There is a localized phenomenon the old shrimpers call the pale pilot. They say that when the fog rolls in so thick you can't see your own bowsprit, a light appears. Not the steady, rhythmic pulse of the St. Augustine lighthouse, but a flickering, dancing lantern glow, low on the water. It beckons the lost and the weary toward the treacherous sandbars of the Matanzas Inlet. Folklore suggests this light belongs to no man, but to the ghosts of the many Spanish plate fleets that were claimed by hurricanes in these waters. These were ships laden with gold, silver, and emeralds, treasures that now lie scattered across the seabed, guarded by something far older than the wreckage. The Bermuda Triangle is often blamed for the disappearance of the Carol A. Deering or the strange silence of Flight 19, but here in St. Augustine, the mystery is more intimate. It's the feeling of being watched from the dunes. It's the way the compass needle spins frantically when you cross the hidden canyons of the continental shelf just offshore. Architects who have worked on the city's restoration claim that the lime used in the old mortar contains the ground-up remains of things that were never meant to be disturbed. They say that on certain nights, when the moon is thin and the wind blows from the east, the buildings themselves begin to hum a low vibration that mimics the sound of a ship's hull groaning under the pressure of a deep-sea trench. Is it a magnetic anomaly? A rift in the fabric of time? Or is St. Augustine simply the northern anchor of a great, invisible trap? Next time you stand on the ramparts of the old fort, looking out at the Atlantic, don't just admire the view. Listen to the water. The sea here doesn't just crash against the shore, it whispers. It remembers every sailor who followed the pale pilot into the mist. And it is always waiting for the next one to forget that the oldest city in the New World was built on a foundation of things that were lost, and things that refused to stay gone.